The name is Citybug. So as you might know, this triplet of Toyota Aygo, Citroën C1 and Peugeot 107 is also known as the Citybug because these type of cars were used in the city, and also because they have a little bit of a bug-like appearance with their headlamps, but also the back. I will come to that later. But as you can see, if you put it out of that natural environment and put it on the highway at certain speeds, it also becomes Bugzilla, so a bug killing machine. And here you can also see that Citybug type of stand on the back. A nice type of car, small but also yeah, still suitable even for highway speeds, as you can see. But of course it's not its natural habitat. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day. So I will now walk you through the interior of the Toyota Aygo first generation. As you can see, this is the speedo. When you put it in contact, you can get additional data. As you can see here, so for example, the amount of kilometers traveled, fuel gauge is there. This also are the lights because it's not started yet. You have a simple radio installed. Alarm button is easy to hit. Also, I like the steering. It resembles a little bit that of this style. Resembles a little bit that of the Celica of this time and age. Very rudimentary storage space, but you do have some storage space here and here, and also as a passenger you can have some small storage parts. Still has the manual handbrake. This was once red but is now a little bit tainted to a pinkish color. Also windows go up and down still manually, as you can see, so that is not the most luxurious environment. I do like these round design air vents, also this dotted approach on the dashboard. I really liked from the steering to the dashboard, and also a little bit they did it here. It gives a nice feeling. The gearbox is a 5-speed with a reverse, of course. And I also had a similar gearbox in a Toyota Starlet of my parents, but it only had 4 speeds. So now you have an additional overdrive. First, second, third are approximately the same as Starlet, but the 4 and the 5th can be better spaced, so you have more pull. Also, this is a 3-cylinder engine, so a little bit easier in design, a little bit more low down torque, and even has 13 horsepower more than the 4-cylinder Starlet engine had. So it's a 5-door, as you can see here. There's additional doors that also has this window that can clap open. It can be bolted open, and still as for the seating arrangement, it's a 4-seater, but you can still sit quite good in the rear, which I like a lot. It still has some additional safety like airbags, also for the passengers, you can see here, which is a big plus in this day and age. Well, have a great day. So another foundering car, again from the Toyota Aygo, and today we will discuss why this Toyota Aygo is a good car. So a small introduction. You saw the speedo of the Aygo in the intro. This type of car is good in a sense because it is simple, essential driving of a car. It's very frugal, it's light, so you get massive gains from the ample horsepower that they have. It's not a lot, but 68 horsepower is a lot compared to the weight that is still little. So you're approaching 100 horsepower per kilogram. It's not like that, it's like 85, something like that. So that's a good thing. The other thing is, because it is light, you also have, with this simple brake setup, still a capable car, and also in the bends, because it is playful. A third point is, because of the lightness, it won't cost a lot of fuel, but also brake disc and tires are all simple. And also brakes are very cheap as compared to it. It is a no-frills car, but you still have 5 doors. Interior room is also very nice for such a small size. It's just barely bigger than a smart car. It's a smart car with a or the station version, so to say, an estate version of the smart car, could be pretty much close to a description of this type of car. Also in this car, specific car, because you don't have electric windows, you don't have ABS, I think, you don't have anything like an air conditioning system, so that it can also not break. And because it is not on there, it will also keep the weight to a minimum, which is a good thing. Of course, this also means that you don't have all those creature comforts which are beneficial normally, but you can make do. Another benefit is because it's an older car and also light and cheap and etc. You will have cheap insurance, you will have cheap acquisition. Acquisition costs not a lot, and also insurance will not be a lot, as I mentioned, but same will be with depreciation. So it will only very gradually decrease in value. And what I like about it is a friendly looking car. There's a nice appeal, and in my opinion the new versions can look nicer, but they don't have that bug-eyed. All those extensions. The car looks really wide and cool for its size. It's a very short size, and it looks quite wide because also for the flared wheel arches, etc. I think this is a good way that they did it. And also the newer version might be a lot more modern, but it's still a simple car, and it's almost 200 kilograms heavier. At least 100 kilograms heavier, depending on the version. And that means a lot if they still have that 1 liter 3-cylinder engine like this also has. You can imagine that it will have more weight to drag along. So that 85 horsepower per 100 kilogram will then be more approaching like 82, something like that. Another benefit that I like is that it still has a 5-speed manual. 5-speed is not a lot, of course, but in the past we drove a Toyota Starlet, and it has a similar dimensions. It only had 55 horsepower, I guess. If you look at the non-turbo versions, the 1 liter, it was a 4-cylinder, this is a 3-cylinder, but this has 68 horsepower, so 13 horsepower more, and only weighing like 65 kilograms more. It also has a 5-door, and you have an additional speed. So the Toyota Starlet had only 4 speeds, but still, if you look at this car, 1 will be approximately 50 kilometers, 2 will be approximately 100 kilometers, 3 approximately 145, 150 kilometers, and that are almost the same as the Starlet had. But then you have 4th and 5th, so you have an overdrive function, and this will also help keep the highest speed pool intact, because the 4th gear can be a little bit more space in between. It is not an overdrive function, and the 5th gear can still act as an overdrive function, so that diminishes the noise of the engine, etc., intruding into the cabin, but also the fuel economy will be better with such a concept. Also, the Starlet didn't have 5 doors that we had a 3-door Starlet. So if you take that into consideration, a 5-door Starlet would also be heavier and would be very close to this type of car. Perhaps it does have ABS, but I found out that the brakes sometimes have a little bit more trouble when it's wet, but it could be that the ABS just intruding that much. So that could be the case. So that's it in a nutshell. I hope you like this Toyota Aygo. I do, as a in-between car. I think it's a good thing. Also, when you come from a Tesla, any car that you would take would be a step back. If you have a Tesla Model S, almost any car. Otherwise, you have to go up again. But it's quite hard. Because also in the Netherlands, then you have to pay BPM if you don't buy an additional electric car. So that would be a lot more pricey. And with this in between, regardless of what type of car you get next to this car, you will probably have a step up, especially creature comforts, but also a little bit modern, etc., etc. Well, found a car out.